So I quit my job, lost all my clients. Do I regret it? No. So at the time of this recording, it's been just over 1 year since I quit my job and went full time into Stella Digital. But it didn't start out too well. So let me tell you the story about how I left my job and lost all my clients. But as with all good stories, we start at the beginning. I was a bright-eyed university student, just got my master's degree in biomedical engineering, moved out of my parents' house and into the big wide world. Well, I actually stayed in university to get my PhD, but during that time, I found my love for filmmaking and visual effects. I spent hours after uni just watching YouTube content of behind the scenes, VFX tutorials, just learning and creating and making really cool videos. It was after a couple of years or so that my mind started to wander and I thought, what if I did this all day, every day? Step away from academic life and make videos and be creative and actually get paid for it. Could this work? So I started getting a few little jobs on the side while I was still doing my PhD, you know, making a little bit of extra pocket money. Then my cousin put me in touch with one of his friends that works for a biotech company saying they needed a video. At this point I thought, great, another little gig under my belt. But this one wasn't such a little gig. It was a proper official corporate job. Looking back on it now, it wasn't the major leagues just yet, but in my mind it was a big deal. See, the problem with big corporate is that yes, they have a lot of money, but there is also a lot of hoops to jump through. That was partly the reason why they hired me in the first place, was to cut down on some of the hoops and reduce timescales of doing it all internally. They'd usually need to wait months for a media team internally, but I could do it within a week and get it back to them. So that's what I did it in a week, got it back to them. But then they sent it off to their marketing team and it took literally months to get some feedback from it. But I did the revisions and everyone was happy. So since then I've done maybe 4 or 5 jobs for the same client, making good money doing so, and thought to myself, this is it. And they even said that they were planning on doing 3 or 4 videos a year. It's a no-brainer. In my head it was a no-brainer. So I could see the potential and I could see the money was there. So I took the leap. I hated my work. The people were great, but see, when you find yourself thinking about your passion all day, every day, and not your work, it's time to get out of there. So in October, I think it was, I sat down with my boss and I said, I'm done. He was surprisingly cool with it and actually sorry to see me go, but understood the situation and basically said I was a fool not to at least give it a shot. So it was the 31st of January 2020, before the world went to shit and my last day of work. I was super pumped about it all, and before I even left the house, I got an email. You can see where this is going, right? Yeah. It was my big client saying they couldn't do any more work with me because I was stepping on their internal marketing team's toes too much, and they didn't like it. So they wanted me to stop. So I lost them. Sure, I was getting the odd small job here and there, but nothing that would have made me take that leap in the first place. Do I regret it? Not one bit. This past year has been amazing, being able to stretch my creative legs, figure out what Stellar actually is and what I want to do with it. I couldn't have done it without making the move. Moral of the story, do what makes you happy. Take that leap. Granted, make sure it's viable and you've thought it through, but you have no idea what's waiting for you until you do. Cheers guys, see you in the next one. Oh, and subscribe. This is a weird angle. Yeah, keep it.